Our lesson today is adding and subtracting fractions with common denominator. Okay, so it's just like bell work that we did. There's a couple of vocab words that I want to talk about first. So starting with just fractions, okay? Fractions means, let me get a little bit. Part of a whole. So a fraction means that it's part of a whole. So it's small, usually smaller than 1. A fraction that has, let's say a 2 over 3, where the smaller number is on top and the bigger number is on the bottom. That's just a plain old fraction. But if I switched it and I did 3 over 2, that is called an improper fraction. So when the larger number is on top, that's called an improper fraction. So those two differences are important. Okay, vocab word denominator. What do you guys think? Tell me, someone. The bottom number. So it's the bottom number. Denominator. Today our denominators are going to be the same. So that will be really helpful and make it easier for us. And then the numerator means the top number. Okay, so a number like 3/5, that means 3 out of 5. So the 5 tells us the total amount that we're working with. Total amount. Like if I had like a pizza, right? And I were going to shade, let's see, fifths, huh? How do I do fifths? That doesn't look that good, but actually it looks pretty bad. Very uneven. I'm not very good at making fifths, apparently. So there's 5 total pieces, and the 3 means the number that I am working with, 3 of them. So I could do like 1, I know the pieces are not even, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So 3 out of the 5. So if the bottom is the total amount, the top number means the number that's shaded or the number that we're working with. We're counting only 3 of them out of the 5. 3 out of 5. 3/5. Okay? All right, so we need to practice changing from a mixed number to an improper fraction, and then the backwards of that, changing from a mixed number, improper fraction to mixed number. All right, I fixed it. So this is first one, mixed fraction or mixed number to an improper fraction. I have 3 and 1/4. Does anybody remember how to change it? Yeah. You do. So it's 3 times 4 and then plus 1. 3 times the 4 and then plus 1. And that makes my, okay, so that's 13, right? 13. And then there's something missing still. The denominator, which you keep the original denominator of a 4. So 13/4. Okay, let me give you another one to practice. 6 and 1/2. Six and 1/2. Okay. Big number times the denominator, add the numerator. What'd you guys get? 13 over 2. Perfect. Okay. Then I put another one in there. 2 and 3/5. Okay. Wow. totally random, and they all have 13 as the numerator. 2 times 5 plus 3. 13 over 5. They don't always come out to 13s. That's just totally coincidence. No, I just made up fractions in my head. Improper fraction to mixed number. Let me give you improper fraction. The number on the top is larger than the number on the bottom. So write down 3 halves. Okay, so 3 halves becomes, if I divide the 2 into the 3, it's like this. 2 divided by 3. How many times does 2 go into 3? How many whole times does 2 go into 3? 1 time. And then how many are left over from 2 to 3? 1. Yes, you're right. And I keep my original denominator. 2. 3 halves and 1 1/2 are numbers that you will see often. It's 3 halves is used a lot in math. So commit that one to memory. 3 halves equals 1 1/2. How about 7/5? 1 time. 5 goes into 7 1 whole time. With how many left over?
2.
From 7 to 5. 2. And I keep my original denominator. 5. 1 2/5. All right. Moving on. Big idea of the lesson. Adding fractions with common denominators. Okay, well, if the denominators are the same, we don't touch the denominators. So you're going to add the numerators. Now remember, numerator means top number, right? Keep the denominator the same. Add the numerators, add the top numbers, keep the denominators the same. So whatever denominator you started with, that's the denominator that's going to be in your answer. And likewise, if I'm subtracting fractions with common denominators, the only difference here is now that I'm subtracting. Okay, so turn the page. It's on the back side. Subtracting. Turn the page. Okay. Subtract the numerator. And keep the denominator the same. Good. Add or subtract the following. Number 1, 1/5 plus 2/5. Add the tops. Do you guys think this is easy?
Yes.
Good. And you're done. Can't reduce it or anything. Number 2, 7/8 take away 1/8. 6 over 8. If you can reduce a fraction, you always reduce a fraction. Now, let's review this because some of you missed it on the quiz. Okay, what number goes into 6 and 8? It has to be the same
2.
number on top and the same number on bottom.
2.
2. So here's how you write it. You divide by 2 on top and you divide by 2 on bottom. 6 divided by 2 is what? 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now it's reduced to lowest terms. Good. Number 3. 5/10 plus 9/10.
17.
14 tenths first. And again, don't change it to a mixed number. Just leave it like this. This is totally fine. What number goes into 14 and 10? 2. So you'll write divided by 2 on 14 and divided by 2 for 10. Seven, 14 divided by 7 over 5. Number 4, 1/4 take away 1/4. 0/4, which means just 0. All right, number 5. Number 5 is actually difficult. Let's do it. Really stay with me on this one. Okay, you either have to decide, am I going to add the whole numbers first, or am I going to add the fractions first? It doesn't matter which you decide to choose first. But, so let's do the whole numbers first. 2 plus 1. Easy, right? Okay, now, 3/8 plus 6/8. How many 8s is that? So, 9/8. Okay, but 9/8 is an improper fraction. That doesn't look right. I cannot keep 9/8 the way it is. So I need to just focus on the 9/8 and change that to a mixed number. And then I'll add it to the 3. But 9/8. So 8 goes into 9 how many times? With how many left over? Okay. All right, 1 and 1/8. 8 goes into 9 one time. With 1 left over 8. So that's what 9/8 becomes. The 3 still stays the 3. So I combine them. What is 3 and 1 and 1/8? 4 and 1/8. Let's, on number 6, let's do the fractions first. 6/7 take away 2/7 is how many 7s? 4/7. And then this 1 minus, well, it's just going to stay in the answer, a 1. 1 and 4/7. Set number 7. Okay. Same issue as number 5. Let's do what we did last time. 5 plus 2. Add the whole numbers first. 7, right? What's 7/9 plus 4/9? How many ninths is that? 11/9. And I hope you recognize 11/9 can't stay 11/9. So, just like we did last time, 11/9 becomes a mixed number. How many times does 9 go into 11? One whole time. That's okay. Then how many is left over? What's the remainder between 11 and 9? 2. That's my new numerator. And then 9. Keep the denominator the same. So that's my improper fraction changed. And let's keep our 7 there. And put together now 7 plus 1 and 2/9. Someone new. How many is it? 8 and 2/9. Good. Number 8. Let's add the whole numbers first. Nothing plus a 5. Yep. 3/4 plus a 1/4. 4/4. Okay. 4/4 though. 4 over 4. Becomes a 1. You have to change it. And then the 5. So you have to put them together by adding them. 5 plus 1, basically. Okay. Turn your page. I'll do 3 of the classworks with you. 4/8 plus 3/8. 7/8. Easy, right? Good. Go on to the next one. 7/10 take away 1/10. 6 over 10. Reduce it by 2. 3. over 5. Oh, good. I didn't hear you that well. Sorry. And then last one, it doesn't matter that there's 3 fractions. You just focus on the numerators, the tops. A 7 plus a 9 plus a 4. 20? I know, you're right. I agree with you. You're exactly right. And then my denominator stays. So now, so these numbers are larger. Think of a number that goes, they're both even. So you can reduce by 2. So do it. Divided by 2, divided by 2. 20 divided by 2. 10. Yeah, it's like 20 cut in half. Then what's 48 cut in half? 24. Okay. But 10 over 24, those are still like both even numbers. So I need to reduce again. So I'm going to reduce again by 2 because 2 goes into both of those. 5, 10 divided by 2, yeah. And then 24 cut in half. 24 divided by 2. And that is your final answer. All right, go on to number 4. Keep going with your classwork.